What's up, guys? In this video, you're going to hear the story of a guy who was a 25-year-old virgin. And we're going to show you exactly what he did to lose his virginity, along with all the screenshots from start to finish. I think there's going to be a lot of motivation, inspiration, and hopefully some insights in his story. All right, so we're going to crack right into Rob's story. He's going to share some, his journey and some practical tips for anyone who's either a virgin or just struggling with women, so you guys can find motivation, inspiration, and some practical takeaways. So, Rob, let's start with what exactly, the first 25 years of your life were like. Like, why did it take you so long to lose your virginity?
I mean, it was like, just growing up in a very Catholic conservative environment. I'm like Filipino. I don't know, like Filipinos are like very religious and stuff, and we're held to like really conservative beliefs and stuff like that. Basically, I would just growing up as like a very I don't know how you call it, like a nerd, like an academic and stuff, and wasn't really around like girls or women, like it's like just like your standard virgin story. Like yeah, I wasn't really social much in like high school, college. You just studied my ass off. They really didn't have time for parties, girls, or anything like that. So
At what age did you start like actively trying to lose your virginity?
uh probably around maybe college, I would say, because
Okay.
college is where like the party years are at, where you can go to like frat parties, do a lot of social gatherings, join a lot of clubs, meet new people. But I just never got around to putting myself out there because of just how busy I was with my academics and stuff, and just and I didn't do too well in college too. I was just um, I was really struggling, and I was really just focusing on just landing a really well-paying job. So,
Mhm. But so when you would go to these frat parties on occasion, like what was the thing that, what are the things that are holding you back? Like what were your particular sticking points with women?
well, I so that's the thing. I never actually went to these parties. That's what I was saying. Like
Ah,
yeah. So like I never had any like experience or anything. But I mean I did like cold approach like just this one chick, and it was like very. I was following. I don't know if you heard of Simple Pickup. I
yeah.
was following like the good old days of their channel, and just basically just having just trying to get over the fear of just approach anxiety and all that stuff. So
Yeah. How long did you spend trying cold approach?
uh I was one of those guys that just looked at the theories and never actually like put it to action. But I probably started using them maybe late high school, senior year.
Oh, okay, so it's
Uh
been a minute.
Yeah, but I never like I cold approached like one or two girls or three in my life. It's
Okay, wow.
yeah, it was pretty scary. This one time, I cold approached this one chick. She took me straight to her boyfriend. Like, we were just walking like after class, and then like we were just talking, bantering and stuff, and then next thing you know, she leads me to her boyfriend. Like, hey, here's my boyfriend. He's just like sitting there, like looking at me. I'm like, and then okay, I just left. It was just super awkward, and like I'm sure other
I
people
would have I
probably.
would have just put my arm around the girl, be like, babe, I don't do threesomes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's funny. I actually got a number afterwards, but like I never like texted her. So like,
So what was the reason you took so little action? I mean, I'm sure as a young man, you wanted to fuck chicks. Like, I mean,
yeah,
everyone gets busy,
of
but
course.
do you feel like there
Yeah,
was some fear or something like that that was holding you back?
yeah. I guess part of it was just like the idea of other people just watching me, just like a reputation kind of a thing. Like, I don't know. It's just like the feeling that someone's out there looking at you or judging you, or that like um this self sabotaging beliefs that's I don't know, it's just like the voice in your head that's telling you like this is not what you're supposed to do. It's like you're heading into fight or flight, whatever.
Mhm.
It's like a psychological thing. So
Got
They're
it.
always in your head,
And
basically.
so how long were you doing online before you joined PWF?
I never did online game at all, like before PWF.
Hmm.
So,
So run me through your thought process. Like what made you find and join PWF?
all right. So, this one I found you through JMov actually. I was a big fan of his channel about him like exposing RSD and all that. And I do have like some of his products. I'll just be straight up with you. And then like he had an interview with you, and um, he was saying how you were having a lot of success with your students or your members. So I thought I'd give it a shot, especially with like coronavirus going up right now with the online game being a priority right now for just to meet people, and with the bars and stuff closed down. So
But so what made you decide, I guess the question I'm asking, like you went through the first 25 years of your life without trying to get laid. What made you decide, you know what, now's the time for me to get this shit handled?
uh probably, or like when did I
Like
decide?
like was there like
Oh,
some
what?
kind of event that, like, you know what, fuck, I need to
Oh
get.
yeah. Probably, yeah, because I had like one-itis for this one girl
Mhm.
in college, and I realized that I was heading into the friend zone, and it was that's how, it's funny enough, that's how I discovered RSD. Like looked into like some Julian's video on like how to, get over one-itis and stuff, and that's how I decided to take to want to take control of my dating life.
Mhm.
Before that, I went through like a red pill kind of a journey.
Oh
So like
God.
I yeah, so I went through like that deep rabbit hole, and then like I had like so much like
Anger.
anger, yeah, and very jaded. And yeah, there's a guy in our mastermind actually whose name I'm not going to mention, but he talks about he how the red pill like ruins his life and stuff, and how you can take some things from the red pill and
Yeah,
just
you can
take it
actually
with a
mention
grain of
his name
salt,
because
you
he
know.
wrote an article about it. So we're talking about Eric, right?
Yeah, I guess he didn't want me to say,
Yeah. Well, no,
to
because he,
mention,
he has
but
a he has a
yeah,
public,
okay.
he has a public article about it. Yeah, I wouldn't dox someone who like wants to.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so yeah, Eric yeah, he I was very inspired by that because like it showed me that yeah, you can actually just show empathy to girls. And it was very evident in your in your text game that you're understanding where the girl's coming from, and your how you're handling objections, concerns, and not being butthurt about anything. And which is funny because the red pill like really condemns online game and saying it's a waste of time. Um,
Yeah,
I don't,
I mean, I
yeah,
think like even let's forget for a minute what's right and what's wrong. Let's just look at
yeah,
quality of life and results. Now, what kind of quality of life and results are people in the red pill? Like, let's pretend they're 100% right about everything. Okay, but what kind of quality of life and results they're having? Well, they're angry. They're
yeah,
definitely not in any kind of meaningful relationship.
right,
Also, really, most of them are not sleeping with many girls. Like, they're not. So their sex life isn't good. Their emotional health isn't good. So
yeah,
like it's just not appealing. Like you kind of mentioned, you were down that rabbit hole. You still remained a virgin. It's not like the red pill. Like
yeah,
oh, I was bitter, but at least I was getting laid. It was like you were bitter and you weren't getting laid. So like
yeah,
that's kind of like my beef with the red pill community. Uh,
exactly.
all right, so let's fast forward. So you joined PWF. What was that experience like?
Oh, experience was great, man. Like, there's a lot of coaches like out there. Like, if you're stuck on a response, like obviously you should be learning, reading the blueprint, like absorbing all this information. But like, if once you're stuck, like the coaches are just there, just respond really quickly. Especially Indian PE. He's um, like when you read the layer reports, you start to just like see the patterns, and really just applying it to your style of text game. You start to just adapt um, very quickly. So, I mean, like I don't know how I mean, I learned a little bit quicker, but I'm still like learning. I'm still like in the beginner stages, but like I'm
Right, right.
starting to like kind of like see what's going on. But yeah, man, like everyone in the community is like super helpful, and like they're with you every step of the way. Like everyone's there to support each other, and everyone's going through the same thing. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's one of the things I love about the mastermind. Aside from the fact that obviously I make money on it, it's also like a really great
Mm,
community.
yeah,
Like I feel like it's like I met up with like a bunch of guys from the mastermind, and they're all pretty
yeah,
chill. I feel like the average guy in the PWF mastermind is cooler
right,
than like the average guy in the pickup community, because it
exactly.
doesn't attract bullshit. All right, so let's fast forward to your virginity losing
Yeah.
experience. So paint the scene for us.
All
You're
right. So
jerking off to MILF porn. Then
yeah, no, I was playing like video games with my buddies, and then, well, the interaction was like she was craving cuddles and stuff, and uh,
let's actually go through the screenshots.
oh yeah, sure. Oh, I think I need to send you.
You can send to me afterwards. Yeah, just review that.
Okay, do you want to just read through the chats? So yeah, I was like, "Hey, trouble," and then she's like, "LMAO, you're not wrong." And then I respond with like, "I know when I see one." And then I'm like, how's your thirsty Thursday?" And then she's like, "Haha, I've been chilling, craving cuddles though." And then she's like, how's your day been?" And then I'm like, "We should change your cravings." And then she says, "Sounds fun with a good movie." And I'm like, "And a bottle of wine, winky face." And then she said, "Where you at then?" I say, "Finishing up work. Feeling spontaneous tonight?" She says, "Possibly." And I say, "You don't sound confident." And then she says, "Fuck it, I'm down. If you come to me though." And I'm like, "My kind of girl, shoot me your number." So she gives me her number. Um, and then basically just logistics from here.
Yeah, we don't have to get into the logistics,
Yeah.
but
So
yeah. So I think there's a few key things to point out here, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think this would have gone this way if you didn't have the basic understanding of text games. So first of all,
yeah,
right away she gave you a big sign. She said craving cuddles, and she asked how
right.
your day is. Now, a guy who's not really, doesn't really know text game might just
Hmm.
be like, "Oh, my day is okay," blah 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 blah, right? But you just picked up on that right away. Like,
Yeah,
this chick is down. And it's essential with situations like that. Like, if you beat around the bush and you take too long, she's going to find another guy. Like, that chick wanted dick that night. You know what I mean? So, like,
yeah,
it's essential. The second thing that you did really well is you hit her with a takeaway at the right time. So when she says possibly, right?
yeah,
Now, again, a guy who doesn't really know text game might be like, "What? Come on, I thought you were interested," right? He might push further, but you
right.
recognize that this was not the time to push; it was a time to pull, and you did that. And you can see, like, this is the power of takeaways and just having good social intuition. When you hit her with a takeaway, she went from possibly to fuck it, let's do it, right? You went from a maybe to a yes. And then
Right.
also, you just didn't bullshit. You're just like, okay, this chick is, she wants to fuck. I should not be asking her a million fucking questions. I should just smoothly move it
Yeah,
towards right?
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
what you do well. Do you feel like you would have been able to do that, before, like, for example, going through the PWF content?
Oh, hell no. Well, I mean, in truth, I think a few of these texts, our coach helped me out a little bit, just a little bit, nudged me in the right direction here,
It's all good.
with some of the texts, but yeah, I wouldn't have like been direct, like I wouldn't have calibrated for a DTF chick here
Yeah.
without knowledge of the blueprint.
Do you feel like you would have just like beat around the bush or something?
Yeah, I probably would have done what 99% of guys, yeah, do. So,
Yeah.
um,
And also, I feel like also if we didn't like optimize your photos, you wouldn't have had the match in the first place. So I always say like
exactly.
the first part of text game is actually having your photos on point because you have to actually match with a girl.
Right. Well, I
So
mean, my photos aren't like super optimized yet.
no, they're
So,
not. Yeah, but they're
yeah, but
definitely
you,
better than when you started. Like your
yeah,
profile's moving in the right direction.
yeah, I agree.
And I feel like there's never a point where like what my profile is perfect. Like I don't even feel that way about my profile. Right, my
Yeah.
profile now is better than it was 6 months ago, and that's
Hmm.
better than it was 2 years ago. So like in a year, it's going to be better than what I have now. You're just constantly improving it. So you're
Exactly.
constantly trying to level up. So
Yep.
what happened when you got to the chick's house? And I think
All right.
also this worked out really well for you because you told me that your logistics suck, so it has to.
Dude, yeah. Dude, COVID, COVID lockdown, living with family, grandma.
Yeah. So for you, this was like the perfect thing for her to say. Like,
Exactly.
if you
It
come to
was
my place, bitch, that's the only option.
exactly, yeah. And yeah, so when I got there, we just bantered. It was like super late at night, man, like 12:30 a.m. Like we just bantered about stuff like where she was from, like very very basic questions. And then yeah, and then I asked her like what kind of movie did she wanna watch, and I just said like I didn't mind like uh what movie it was gonna be. And I kind of just like, situated myself, already putting my arm like around on the left side, just
Mm.
to like, like taking up space on her bed. So like, and then to which she just, sat down, and I kind of just escalated from there. Like I did, what you talk about with the 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of a thing, just taking it, easy.
Right.
And then,
Did she have any idea you were a virgin?
no, no.
It would have been pretty funny. Is like right after sex, you're like, "Thanks for taking my virginity."
Yeah, that would have been funny. Well, it's funny because like I didn't expect the sex to be as like good as I wanted it to be.
Mm,
Because I got like we call it like blue balls at the second half, and I didn't like finish. So
mm.
it's I mean, I guess that's normal for someone who hasn't like,
You're
done it.
100% no. Well, one of two things
Yeah,
happen when you lose your virginity. You either bust in 2 seconds or you never come. That's
exactly.
I busted in 2 seconds. I was in that camp. I don't think the girl that I lost my virginity to even knew we were having sex. She probably thought I was still fingering her, and I'm like already finished on her stomach.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, we were watching the movie, and like it's funny. The movie was about this like this beta guy, and like who learns self defense. And I was just kind of like looking at it, like I was watching the movie. I'm like, dude, that's me, and I'm like literally at the opposite side now. I'm like, I'm like becoming a man.
Do you think that you'll see this chick again?
uh, maybe, probably. Like, I guess like
Do you want to?
I I would say so. Yeah, I'm still thinking about it, but I,
Mm,
I would I would say so. Yeah.
okay.
But
Did you send her
that was fire. Yeah.
yeah, you did. Okay, good. Yeah.
She reacted by sending a heart emoji. So like,
Yeah, yeah. So
that's
you
a good
always
sign.
want to, after you hook up with a girl, just send her a text saying that you had fun, you enjoyed it. One, it's just like a nice thing to do, so the girl doesn't feel used. And two, God forbid, I don't like
Yeah.
talking about this. God forbid, 5 years from now, blah blah blah. False accusations. You have that. So for those
Yeah.
two reasons,
Exactly.
primarily for the first one, you want to do that. Okay, yeah. I mean, so how do you feel now? Like, what do you feel like? It's kind of like there's like a weight off your shoulders.
Yeah, it's a little bit of weight off my shoulders. Like just the fact that there's like a girl out there willing to do it with me. Like just because I did have like some insecurities too, just like my height. Like I'm 5'7", and like the fact that I was just a lot of that insecurity, just like a lot of it's been relieved, just
Oh,
after that day.
yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they don't completely go away, but they're like a
But they
little
don't.
bit
Yeah,
less.
it's still up there.
And then the more experiences you have that are positive, the lesser and lesser they get. And then eventually get to a point where like the insecurities are just like so far in the background that you're not even thinking about them.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's the way if you start hooking up with higher quality women, like more higher up in the S&V scale.
Yeah.
So
I mean, just to kind of reiterate what I was telling you earlier before we started the call. So basically, going from 0 to 1 is really fucking hard. Like it took me,
yeah,
I didn't lose my virginity until I was 19. I probably started going out and trying when I was 16. So let's say it took me 3 years to lose my virginity. Then to go from 1 to 2, probably took me like a year. Then to go from 2 to 3, took me like 5 months. Then from 3 to 4, maybe
yeah,
3 months. Versus now I'm at a point where it would take me like 1 hour. You know what I mean? So like
yeah.
but just get incrementally easier. But the
Hmm.
hardest part is to go from 0 to 1, which is what you accomplished. It only just kind of, it's still going to be challenging, but only gets easier
Yeah,
from. Uh,
exactly.
and the other thing the reason I really like the story is because it kind of drives the point home that losing your virginity doesn't have to be like this crazy thing where you put in so much work. It's really doesn't
Exactly.
have to be. All it has to be,
Right.
all you have to do is just have the right approach and the right
Exactly.
strategy and just
Hmm.
capitalize on opportunities. Now, for example, let's say like this is what I feel like a lot of virgins make it harder for themselves than it has to be.
Yeah.
Like they go to like fancy bottle service clubs and try to pick up like chicks or
Yeah.
with big giant groups of friends. Now, if you're a virgin who's not confident, who has insecurities, that's going to be mission fucking impossible. What you want to do is
Right.
you want to make it as easy as possible for yourself. Set up a Tinder, set up a Bumble, kind of fuck
Exactly.
right vibe, and then straight to the house date. Then as you get better and you have more experience, then you can start challenging yourself a little bit more. But what you don't
Hmm.
want to do is set the challenge bar so high. It's like you've never worked out before, and the first time going to
Yeah.
the gym, you try to bench press 300. That's just like you're just setting
Right.
yourself up to fail. And like I always
Exactly.
tell guys who are struggling is you want to set yourself up to win, and then you increase the challenge. So that next time, maybe you'll go on a public date, right? Make it a little bit more challenging for yourself, and so on.
Right, right. And dude, like, she was like super chill about it too. Like, she was very unemotional. She's very, um, she's like a sweetheart, man. Like, she didn't even care if I had blue balls. It was almost like she knew, like, she knew I was a virgin or something like that, which is funny.
If you hang out with her again, you should tell her.
I should. Yeah, you're right.
So what? Or maybe not. I don't even know. But so what? Last question. What is next? Like, what do you feel like? Like, what's going to be like your approach moving forward?
Dude, like, I'm still on stage like day one, man. Like, I'm still a beginner. Like, I'm still reading the blueprint, reading all these layer reports. Like, maybe um, get to the part where I require less and less help from coaches,
Uh-huh.
and like just try to, maybe eventually, like start teaching other people. But like, that's probably like a long ways from now. Um, but yeah, just keep reading, just keep reading the layer reports and try to just really uh, absorb your own style, because like, the other funny thing, man, is like there's another PWF member in my area with
Oh,
yeah, like I think he's like a year and a half into the mastermind, and we matched with the same chick, and he got farther along with her than I did. So I guess my advice is for people to just get the product now. Otherwise, you never know if another PWF guy, your next door neighbor, is like competing against you. It's like you just need to just adopt your style now, because I feel like your channel's gonna blow up, man.
it's true. PWF is only getting more and more popular.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, I think one thing I want to reiterate that you said is you said, I want to get to a point where I'm asking for less and less help. And that's actually a very good mindset to have. So we help everyone at PWF, right? If you join the
Hmm.
mastermind. However, the guys who, they've been there for 2 years and they still require a high degree of help. A large part of that is like they're getting late, but they're refusing to try shit on their own. And that's going to hinder their growth. So we're always
Exactly.
encouraging, like, like we don't mind giving you lines from time to time, but we want you to be at the point where you can suggest your own lines. Be like, hey, I'm thinking about saying this. Is this a good text? Right. That's why we have that
Right.
rule that if you're asking for a line, you have to give a suggestion of your own. And then we want
Exactly.
to get to a point where people can just come up with shit on their own, right? Like, and then they
Hmm.
only use us for like the tricky situations, right? So stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I think that's like really important for just getting better and growth is to progressively challenge yourself
Yeah.
and open yourself up to fail because you will fail sometimes. I'm going to
Exactly.
fail. You're going to fail. We're all going to fail as long as you keep
Hmm.
opening up. It's going to be very interesting to do another one of these in like 3 months and see where you're at that point. Like, okay, like,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, we should definitely.
Yeah. And your text breakdowns like really help. Like, you can see where like people start to like, kind of head in the wrong direction, and oh, he could have gone this way, or like this wouldn't have happened if he just went this way, or like. And I like your whole idea of like chess and how you should be thinking 2 steps ahead, so that you can just place yourself in a position where you can respond or like say the right thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you don't want to be like if you're playing chess and you're blindly moving piece around the board, you can still win, but it requires luck, right? You can
Exactly.
win. But if you're strategic about it, you can still lose, but the chances of you losing are a lot lower because you're strategic,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So you want everything like there should be a purpose. Like guys often just send these like purposeless texts and like, oh, why did you say that? I don't know. Like you should never.
Hmm.
If someone asks you why do you send that text, the answer should never be I don't know. There should always be like, well, because I'm trying to do this, this, and that. I'm trying to build a little bit more comfort. I'm trying to build more investment. I'm trying to get her qualified. But there should always be a reason for why you do things.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Do you have any closing thoughts? Any advice for, let's say, guys who are struggling right now? Maybe they feel a little hopeless. Maybe they've been virgins for 30 years, 40 years. I actually just recently
Hmm.
coached a guy who was a 40-year-old virgin. So we're gonna fix that problem real quick. But
For sure.
there's a lot of extreme examples out there. I
Yeah.
think a lot of guys are disillusioned. They kept trying. Maybe they've been following,
Hmm.
RSD, and now like 5 years later,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
have no results. Like what advice would you give them?
For one advice would be for one, get the product,
Yeah.
like get the blueprint, yeah, and then but then like just kind of just I don't know, but like losing your virginity is like not. I feel like it's not too big of a deal. Like just kind of just do you. Just kind of like put yourself first. But then again, like it's important to keep reading the product, and like yeah, it's good to do it. It's an experience, but in the end, you should be focusing on yourself, and it's much better that way because like you have no expectation there's no expectation of the outcome. Like if you're attached to the outcome, you kind of just become really needy and you start to like get nervous and um, just start like meditating or something. Just just have like positive thoughts about it, and don't be too focused on losing it. More like focus on what you need to do to get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The virgin thing is only a big deal if you think it's a big deal, because the girl doesn't
Exactly.
know you're a virgin. It's not like you have a tattoo on your head that says
Right. Right.
I'm a virgin. So like if
Yeah.
you think it's a big deal, then yeah, that will, that vibe will kind of rub off on the girl. But if you're like, yeah, you know what, I had the wrong information.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. Now I have the right information. So it's almost guaranteed to happen. It's just a matter of time and how much action I take. If I
Right.
just fucking sit on the sidelines and just jerk off to Alex's YouTube videos, while that may give him extra YouTube ad dollars, that's not really going to help me.
Yeah.
I have to take action. And of course, it's not just taking action, but it's also correct action, which again goes through the material. So, and
Exactly.
in terms of cold approach, JMOV is probably one of the best sources on cold approach. So
Oh yeah.
you also have like the best, now you have the best online, you have the best cold approach. So like if you take action, you will get results, just a matter of time.
Yeah. Exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Thank you so much for the words of
For
wisdom.
sure, man.
We're gonna link the original layer report in the description. Thank
Sounds
you
good.
for watching, and until next time.
Peace.